Hi, this is problem number 11 in picoCTF 2018. The first 10 were very easy, right? Well, we are now over on just easy. And the reason I differentiate between the two is that if you are unfamiliar with Linux, you might feel it's just a little bit more complicated. This one is called Grep 1. A little bit different than what we're used to with crypto and reversing and more. But it's 75 points and it's under the category General Skills. So let's see what they're asking here. Can you find the flag in File? So we're going to download this file. This would be really obnoxious to look through by hand, see if you can find a faster way. And then we can also find the flag with the shell server, but we're going to be using that so much anyway that we are just going to download the file. But we have a hints here, and the hints give you the grep tutorial, which I have already right in front of me, and you can read it. It might be a little easier also to read what's online and searching for different examples of grep, which you also have here, of course. So they will both help you out a lot. Let's download the file and save it. And it will be saved in our downloads folder, and it's just called file. We are now in our Linux terminal, right? And we're in our home folder. We're not in our downloads folder. And you can see that kind of like by I have this Goethe as a username, and you will probably notice your username. But to see what's in our home folder, first of all, ls, and you can see you have your desktop documents, downloads, and whatnot. We want to get into the downloads, so that will be cd for change directory and DOW, and then there's no other words starting with DOW here. So that means that you can do a shortcut, which is the tab key, and you have the downloads there. And now we are in our downloads folder, and if we now look inside it, we see that we have a file there. Let's clear the screen here for a second, and so we have much more space. Now there are numerous ways to look inside this file, and we're going to use one of them just for the fun of it, cat, which means that it doesn't really start up a program. You see everything right there in the terminal. So cat file, and you see it's a lot of clutter. And if you look at the right hand side here, you can't possibly go through all of that, right? So let's clear that away. And what we also did, or what I did, you haven't gotten to it in picoCTF yet, is I used strings against a file to see just strings. But you see, the document is just full of everything here. So that's not going to work. What is going to work is grep, what we are supposed to do. So let's do that now. Now, one more thing. There's always one more thing. Anyway, before you start searching online or looking through documents that you can find, these small programs on Linux have their own manual, and so does grep. So manual is just MAN and grep, and you will see here almost everything you actually need to know about the program. Maybe not explained as well as you would like it, but all the options and whatnot is explained here, right? So, but what we see here, we have grep, and then we can put in an option. We have the pattern, and we have the file, and that's what we're going to use now. And to get out of the manual, Q for quit is all we need. So grep is a command line utility, and you use it to search plain text data sets. And whenever you're looking for something on your computer or in a file like now and you want to extract it, grep is your go-to tool. And if you're unfamiliar with Linux, after you start learning how to navigate in the Linux terminal, start playing around with grep. So let's start with the program itself, or the command, which is grep, and what we are looking for. And we know that it's a flag we're looking for, and so far there's only been one flag each time. We might not know what the answer is, but what we do know is that it always starts with picoCTF. Now you can look at this as a word, but just look at it as a string for now. You have options for words, but look at it just as a string. And then the file, the text file we're looking in is here, right? And it's in the same place. So that's where we're going to look for the picoCTF. Enter, and here you have it. So you have picoCTF, and the answer is here, right? Grep and all, and you will find grep, and you will find, and that's actually just your answer. Now, one more thing. When you looked at the tutorial which Pico gave you, they did it a little bit differently. They wrote grep, and then they had quotation marks, right? Or they actually had single quotation marks, and Pico CTF stop with a single quotation mark again, and the file. And you see, you come out with the exact same thing. Uh, there are some that mean you don't need the quotation marks, others mean that you need them because you might mess up the system. That part I'll leave to you, but I'm just mentioning that the tutorial that Pico came with used the single quotation marks. Anyway, we have our flag, so let's see if we can just copy that out from here, and then we can just close the terminal here, and we're back. And you could see that using grep in this case was much easier than using strings or cat, right? Because looking through that huge file would have taken a long time. We're pasting in our answer here. And the fun thing is, I'm betting a lot of you were wondering what this is. We're trying to decode that with maybe the Caesar cipher to get something that looked more like text. Anyway, here we submit, and that was correct. So now we've solved one more problem, and next time we're going to look at netcat. Okay, until next time.